least, I'm happy to introduce Dr. Chang Shik. He is the new chairman of UPF International, and concurrently, he's the chairman of UPF Korea. He previously served as the regional chairman of UPF Central America and the Caribbean, so he speaks Spanish. Also, over decades, Dr. Yang has held positions and responsibilities as a trusted and lifelong colleague of the UPF's founders, including as president of the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification Korea, as regional president of the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification North America, and as chairman of the American Clergy Leadership Conference, which partnered with UPF in developing the Middle East Peace Initiative in the early 2000s. Dr. Yang, you have the floor.
Thank you, sister, for your generous introduction. Good morning. Greetings from Korea. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors for Peace, ladies and gentlemen, my dear brothers and sisters, good morning. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you who joined this meaningful webinar to explore the vision of peaceful reunification of Korean Peninsula, despite your busy schedules. Before we talk about Korea's unification, we need to understand the historical background of Korea. Korea has been one nation for 1,300 years, since the unified Silla dynasty in 676. But after Japanese colonial era, World War II ended in 1945, and the Korean Peninsula was divided into two parts, North and South, under the control of the United States and the Soviet Union. In August 1948, a democratic government was established in South Korea. And 1 month later, the communist regime was established in North Korea. After that, the Korean War broke out, shortly after 2 years later, on June 25th, 1950. Actually, day after tomorrow, Sunday, is the exactly 73th anniversary of Korean War broke out. Even on that day was also Sunday. So amazingly, coming June 25th, Korean calendar is Sunday. And for 3 years and 1 month, until the armistice was declared on July 27, 1953. 70 years, anniversary is coming. So we are going to have big peace road cross from DMZ from west to the all the way east, and we'll meet at the DMZ area. So the brutal war continued around the Korean Peninsula. During this period, 63 countries around the world provided military, material, and medical support to both the South and the North. At that time, considering that there were 93 UN members, the Korean War was, in a sense, like another world war. Under the UN Security Council resolution, the 16 countries led by the US sent troops to support South Korea. The Soviet Union and China supported North Korea blindly. After all, the Korean War was an ideological war between the democratic and the communist camps. During the 3 years of the war, 1.8 million US troops participated. Of those, 37,000 were killed and 92,000 were injured. Actually, including citizens, more than 50,000 people were lost their life. It was never a forgotten war. The war completely devastated the two Koreas. However, since the war turned into the truth, Korea has continued to develop its economy under the Korea-US Mutual Defense Treaty signed in October 1953. This is important. With that under umbrella, South Korea has become one of the world's top 10 economies today. However, North Korea experienced severe economic difficulties, focusing on only military buildup under the communism. And from 1995 to 1998, more than 1 million people starved to death. These days are same pattern than 1990s, middle of 1990s. So many people are dying by starve. The highest percentage of the world's GDP spent on military spending. Actually, they are spending more than 25% of national budget for defense, military, spending, and are still suffering from internal economic difficulties and external economic regulations. Nevertheless, North Korea continues to conduct provocative, missile tests by carrying out 17 missile tests this year. It has strained neighboring countries around the Korean Peninsula. 5 years have passed since Chairman Kim Jong-un met with US President Trump in 2018 and promised to work toward a complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. But North Korea's nuclear weapons and ICBM provocations are intensifying, never ever given up. What can be done to resolve the conflict on the Korean Peninsula between democracy and communism that arises as the last divided country on earth? History tells us that we can solve it with the power of a particular politician, businessman, or a particular religion. Don't think so. Here, we need to pay attention to the UPF co-founders, Dr. and Mrs. Moon. In 1987, the founders, Dr. and Mrs. Moon, said that the Citizens Federation for the Unification of North and South Korea should be founded and ideologically armed by the people, emphasizing that the reunification of the two Koreas can be achieved only with true love. And he continued by practicing his practical steps. In 1991, the founders, Dr. and Mrs. Moon, finally entered North Korea, as we see the picture. The founders who almost died several times by the communist regime in North Korea visited and met with Kim Il-sung, who was killed like an enemy. During the meeting, Reverend Moon and Kim reached an important 5-point agreement, as Brother Jack Marion showed. So since that time, actually, we've been build trust each other, good foundation at the NGO level. Still, we've been in ongoing dialogue with North and South on behalf of South. Now, the current government become very much conservative. Since conservative government took over the authority, and North and South Korea, getting distance more, now totally disconnect, even direct line. So Mother Moon, after father passed away, inherit his spirit, and she's driving, straight board. She emphasized the heavenly unified Korea in the process of unification. Yes, God must be with us. And after unification, we will become a fully unified country only if we are united nation that can serve God. Dr. Hak Ja-moon, Mother Moon always emphasized God's dream while talking about the heavenly unified Korea. And she said that Korea is the country where God's dream can come true. So Father Moon also said the same following. I know that the unification of the two Koreas is the origin of global unification. The liberation of the two Koreas is the origin of the world's human liberation. The root is in Korea. That's why I devoted my life to fighting for the liberation of two Koreas. In addition, she said that in order for the unification of the Korean Peninsula to be achieved, not only our strength, but also international support base is needed. Therefore, cooperation between the four powerful surrounding the nations, namely the United States, Russia, China, and Japan, is essential. Dear and respected peace ambassadors, as a dream of God that Dr. Hak Moon wanted to achieve, the heaven unified Korea and the heaven unified world are the ideal world that all mankind has dreamed of throughout history. That is the world of interdependence, mutual prosperity, and universal values. The heaven unified world is a world of interdependence to achieve an economy enjoyed together with private ownership based upon conscience, mutual prosperity that pursues politics that participate together through recommendations, the universal values that practice together and realize the best ethics and morality. In this way, the heaven unified Korea will be a free, democratic, and welfare state. So I'm also confident that it will become a central country in the world that can correct the world or the beyond Northeast Asia and achieve and have a unified world. So last May 9th, Mother Moon assigned me as the international chair of UPF as well as head of UPF Korea. So, and ordered me, bring international foundations, networks of UPF to Korean Peninsula to support the reunification of Korean Peninsula. So we are going to start the 1 million training membership to support reunification of Korean Peninsula as a part of the citizens movement. So it's an NGO level. So we have already branches of each, every province and go down more little village level. So we are going to mobilize millions people to stand up together to make peaceful reunification of Korean Peninsula. So once again, I would like to end my words with the sincere hope, and all of you will actively participate in the movement for the realization of this unified Korea. Thank you so much.